Hi. Want to see me clean a kitchen that's covered in dog crap? Because that's exactly what I'm about to do. Man, I don't know where to start on this one because there's so much about this house that needs explanation. I guess the first thing is this is a pet hoarder house and the woman was evicted. And to me, I'm non-judgmental about hoarders because it's a mental illness. And saying that the fix for hoarding is that people should just stop being lazy and just get up and clean their house is a bit misguided because there's something physically wrong with their brain. It's a neuropsychological disorder, and it would be like telling someone with a broken leg you just need to get up and jog. But there's one kind of hoarder that I really have a problem with, and that's pet hoarders, because they don't understand that they're doing harm to the animals, and having them live in these conditions and the way they treat them is often very, very borderline abusive. But anyway, this woman was evicted from this house. She had several cages, 5 or 6 dog cages, and each one of them were filled with dog feces, which tells me that she didn't let them out of their cage very often. And when they were out, I don't think she let them outside much because there was dog feces all over pretty much every floor in the house. Now, the second thing is I'm wearing a jacket in here because there's no heat and there's no hot water. And that's something that you often find in a hoarder place, one that's really severe. What happens is the place gets so dirty, so dusty, and that dirt packs itself into everything mechanical. So then the furnace goes out or the hot water heater goes out, and the repair people can't get to the thing in order to fix it. Or they're so embarrassed about the looks of their house and the smell of their house that they won't let anybody in. So they just learn to live without heat. This particular day was 28 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is about minus 7,000 degrees Celsius. I'm not good with conversions, but you have the same Google I do, so just convert 28 degrees Fahrenheit into whatever heathen system you use. Today I brought along my oldest son. His name is Jason, and he is a piece of crap. Definitely the least favorite of all my children. Just watching him try to clean disgusts me. Look at him, standing there with his teeth in his mouth like he owns something. Jerk. So on this one, we're doing the insides and outsides of all the cabinets. I had to throw a whole bunch of stuff away, and then surprisingly, the cabinets weren't cruddy, like they didn't have a bunch of food and stuff in them. It was all just dust. So I'm just going to clean those inside and out with Mr. Clean. And then Jason is following behind me, or actually we started on separate sides of the cabinets, and he is using our APC, which is all-purpose cleaner, and that is a bottle that's filled with 20% isopropyl alcohol. The remaining 80% is filled with water, and then I add maybe 5 or 6 drops of Dawn dish soap, and that helps to sanitize the surfaces. Now we're planning on doing this whole house, and the other rooms are pretty bad. But the kitchen had the most filth in it. The cabinets aren't bad, but the floors are really, really bad. And you'll see whenever I get to sweeping and mopping, there's so much mud and so much dog poop just everywhere. But the cabinets themselves came pretty clean pretty easily. They had like a thick layer of dust over everything. But other than that, I didn't feel a lot of grease and grime. So Mr. Clean pretty much did the trick on its own. And surprisingly, when I did these drawers, there was only one drawer that had mouse feces in it. Otherwise, they were pretty clean too. And normally in a hoarder house, especially one that was this filthy, normally there's mouse droppings everywhere. And that may have been the one upside to her having a ton of dogs, is they probably kept the mouse population down. Now these countertops were pretty filthy. That's a lot of dust and a lot of dirt. So I'm going to take a little hand broom and brush all the top layer off, and then I'm going to go back over it with Mr. Clean twice. Once to get the main crud off, and the second time is kind of a polishing clean to get anything remaining. Now normally, instead of using Mr. Clean, I would just slap that dirt off. Just open hand slap right in its stupid face. But this video I'm trying to keep a little bit on the mellow side, because the last time I slapped dirt off of a counter, some of the viewers wrote in and said that it scared them and they had nightmares for a couple weeks after that. So I do apologize to anyone who was affected by my open hand manhood. Going forward, I'll try to use more rags and less slapping. Now the sink wasn't bad either, but it did need a little scrub down. I didn't have any scouring pads on me, so what I did was coated this in Comet. And for those of you who keep telling me to try Barkeeper's Friend, I will try that eventually. I just have a ton of Comet left over, so once that runs out, I'll switch to Barkeeper's Friend. But I used a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser along with Comet, and that worked really well to get the main crud off of here. I could have used a little bit of CLR to get some of the lime scale off, but there wasn't really lime scale. It was more like a film, but I'm out of CLR, so I didn't do that. Again, if viewers weren't so sensitive, I would just slap the lime scale film off, but I don't want to be reported for scaring people. This ceiling fan has never been cleaned. I mean, I don't think the house at all has ever been clean. But you could see when I was wiping those blades down that it was pulling off tufts of dirt, like big clouds of dust. So I knocked all that off with a paper towel and then sprayed the entire ceiling fan down with Mr. Clean and then just scrubbed each component. Now, as we get further in this house, once we get the main crud off of everything, I will take those little light covers off and wash them in the sink and use a little bit of bleach, and that'll make those things turn white again. Keep in mind as I'm sweeping this floor that some of this is mud and some of this is disintegrated dog poop. I said poop. That was pretty cool. On the right hand side of the screen you can see that there's dirt in a really defined rectangle. That's where one of the dog cages was. And that is, as the dog went inside the cage, it just dropped straight down to the floor and over time just disintegrated and turned into dust. I'm really hoping that somebody intervened and got those dogs away from her, but I've never met the woman. Again, she's been evicted and she's away from here now, so all I can do is hope.
Okay, I'll need a trash bag.
Now I'm going to spray this floor down with Lysol floor cleaner, or it's Lysol all-purpose cleaner. It's mixed at double strength, and all I'm doing is saturating this floor all the way around so that it can start breaking down all the mud and dog feces and stuff. And I let this set for about 20 minutes. And then whenever I came back, I re-sprayed it again just to wet it down. And then I'm going to take a rubber bristle broom and scrub down the entire floor. This makes a pretty nasty mess, so suck it. I'm currently working on starting an Amazon store where I can just sell the things that I use in my videos, but that is a project that's probably another month down the line or so. But as soon as I get that started, I will link that on my videos so that if you're ever interested in buying that stuff, you know you can get it straight from me, rather than me having to track down like affiliate links and stuff like that. So right now I'm just mopping the floor with straight water, and the only reason I'm doing that is to soak up all this nasty stuff. Normally I take my carpet cleaner and I use it sort of like a wet dry vac in order to suck up all that stuff, but I didn't bring that with me today. And that stuff I'm scrubbing off on the wall is mud from the dogs, and I'm afraid to actually know what else. Now, after I finish this mopping, it's sort of like a rinse mop, I'm going to spray the floor down again lightly with Lysol, and then I'm going to mop it the way I'd mop a normal floor. And this is only the first of like 4 moppings. Each time I do this, the floor gets a little cleaner and a little cleaner, and I pull up a little bit more and a little bit more of the all the nasty filth. Filth, I love that word, I don't know why. That's the current color of my car because I haven't washed it in ages. Shit. Now I'm going to mop the floor again with Lysol. And now whenever I wring this mop out, the water's coming out much more clear. So I'm starting to get down to like the actual floor now to where it's reasonably clean. But I'll still mop that again after I'm done with all this. I end up cleaning the door and the wall and stuff like that. And then I go over the floor one more time on top of this. That's all mud that came off the dogs, and you can see where they paw at the door when they want to go out, and that's what's behind my extremely dirty knees there. Also, I've never mopped a door before, so that's a first for me. There's so much dirt on this stuff, I probably could have tilled it and planted it. Like, I'm surprised there's not grass growing on this stuff. Like, dude, you need to mow your door. So I'm scrubbing this down with another fresh mixture of Lysol and water. And I'm going to do that with a rag first in order to get the major stuff off. And then I'm going to follow that up with a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to get into all the cracks. Crack. So even with help, this kitchen took 4.5 hours to clean, and I could get it even cleaner than this, which I'm going to when we come back. But this initial clean through was just mainly to get all of the nastiest of the nasty away from here so that it could at least be a semi-normal kitchen again. So the next time we come in, we can actually work and set up a station in here and not have to worry about traipsing through a bunch of powdered dog crap. Now, I didn't think this stuff was going to come off of the door, but if you ever wonder why people rave about Mr. Clean Magic Erasers so much, watch what happens when I switch from a rag to the eraser. It's like instantaneous. Now, I am doing a little bit of slapping here. It's just that I'm doing it quick enough to where you can't see it. The camera can't pick it up. But that's mostly Mr. Clean Magic Eraser that's doing the work. The slapping is just to nudge it along. It's okay, don't be scared. It's just a little slap. Now, when I was done with this, I started to walk away and then look back at the blinds and realize that they were not gray or tan. Turns out those things are white. So I stopped myself from moving on and cleaned those really quick, which there's not a lot that is more annoying to me in the cleaning profession than having to clean blinds. I hate cleaning blinds. Blinds. More like sees perfectly wells. So I'm going to do the same thing with this wall as I did with the other one, and it's probably worth it to point out that that's fake stone. That's just plastic. If that was real stone, I don't know what I could use to get that clean. Probably a pressure washer. And again, this is just Lysol and water, and then I go back over that with a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to get in all the little cracks and crevices, and then just wipe off any residue with a rag after I'm done with that. Now one more time, I'm just going to mop slap this floor, and that's with just regular everyday Lysol. And at this point, I would actually feel comfortable walking across this in bare feet. Now next week is Christmas weekend, so I won't be cleaning, but the weekend after that, we will move on to the living room and bedrooms, and those bedrooms are something, man. If you haven't subscribed, don't be a tool. Hit the subscribe button or face imminent doom. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.